You have been told your entire life that the secret to feeling rested is simple. Just get 8 hours of sleep. 8 hours. That is supposed to be the magic number. So you follow the advice. You go to bed on time, avoid staying up scrolling through your phone, close your eyes, and sleep for a full 8 hours. Then morning comes. And somehow you wake up feeling like you were hit by a truck. The worst part is not even the exhaustion. It is the confusion. You did everything right. You followed the rule everyone talks about. So why does your body feel like it never rested at all? Here is what almost nobody tells you. 8 hours of sleep may not leave you feeling rested if your sleep quality is poor. Millions of people are getting enough hours every night while completely missing out on actual rest. If you have ever woken up exhausted after what should have been a full night of sleep, stay with me, because what you are about to learn could completely change the way you think about rest. Most people assume tiredness after sleep is a simple math problem. You did not sleep enough. You stayed up too late. You are stressed, fix the number of hours, and you fix the problem. That belief makes sense because it is the message we have heard for years. Sleep more and feel better. It sounds logical and honestly, it feels true. But the reality is very different. Sleep duration and sleep quality are not the same thing. For a growing number of people, the problem has nothing to do with how long they are sleeping. The real issue is what is happening inside the brain while they sleep. There is actually a name for this experience. It is called unrefreshing sleep. Once you understand what that really means, everything starts to make sense. Unrefreshing sleep, also known as non-restorative sleep, is exactly what it sounds like. It is sleep that fails to recharge you. According to Thomas Roth, founder of the Sleep Disorders and Research Center at Henry Ford Health, people experiencing this condition wake up feeling just as exhausted as they were before they ever closed their eyes. This is not insomnia. Unlike many people with insomnia, individuals with unrefreshing sleep may feel they slept through the night. They lie awake staring at the ceiling, fully aware of every passing hour. Unrefreshing sleep is different. You can fall asleep quickly, sleep through the entire night without waking once, and still drag yourself out of bed feeling completely drained. Dr. Sonia Schutz, a neurologist specializing in sleep medicine at the University of Michigan, describes it this way. Patients tell her that no matter how long they sleep, they wake up feeling like a truck ran over them. These are not people staying awake until 3 in the morning or pulling all-nighters. These are people doing everything they believe they are supposed to do. So what is actually going wrong? This is where things become interesting and honestly, a little unsettling. Every night, your body is supposed to move through 4 to 6 sleep cycles. Within each cycle are 4 distinct stages of sleep. The earlier stages are lighter sleep, but deep sleep, one of the most important stages of sleep, plays a major role in physical recovery, memory consolidation, and brain restoration. But it is not the only stage that matters. REM, sleep, and other sleep stages also contribute to learning, emotional regulation, and overall health. The key is not just getting enough sleep, but allowing your brain to move naturally through all of its sleep stages. If something repeatedly disrupts those sleep stages, especially deep sleep and REM sleep, you can spend 8 hours in bed and still wake up feeling far less rested than you should. Here's the part that surprises most people. Everyone experiences occasional micro-arousals, but excessive numbers can significantly impair sleep quality. These are tiny, brief awakenings that happen throughout sleep, so short that your brain does not even recognize them as moments of waking. You will not remember them in the morning. You could swear you slept straight through the night. In conditions such as sleep apnea, repeated disruptions can prevent your brain from maintaining normal sleep stages. In more severe cases, these interruptions may occur dozens of times per hour, even though you have no memory of them the next morning. This commonly occurs in obstructive sleep apnea, where repeated breathing disruptions fragment sleep. Your breathing stops, your brain jolts you awake just enough to restart it, and then you fall back asleep with no memory of it happening. This can happen 50 times in a single night while you wake up genuinely believing you slept well. But your body knows otherwise. Researchers have also observed wake-like brain activity intruding into sleep in certain conditions. In other words, your brain behaves as though it is awake during the very stage when it is supposed to be healing and restoring itself. The result is devastatingly simple. You wake up feeling like sleep never happened at all. What many people do not realize is that unrefreshing sleep is not always caused by hidden sleep disorders or abnormal brain waves. Sometimes it is a sign that something much larger is happening inside the body. Conditions such as fibromyalgia, restless leg syndrome, chronic fatigue syndrome, and even long COVID are strongly connected to non-restorative sleep. Dr. Lucinda Bateman, founder of the Bateman Horn Center, makes this very clear. If your sleep is consistently unrefreshing, it may be worth discussing your symptoms with a qualified healthcare professional. What feels like a sleep problem may actually be your body signaling a deeper issue that has not yet been identified. Chronic stress, anxiety, and nervous system dysfunction can quietly destroy sleep quality as well. Then there are the everyday factors most people dramatically underestimate. Ambient light entering the room, background noise you barely notice anymore, alcohol, caffeine, light exposure, and environmental disturbances can all affect sleep quality. Depending on the timing, amount, and individual person, these factors may reduce the amount of restorative sleep your brain is able to achieve. These things do not simply make it harder to fall asleep. They actively disrupt the stages of sleep your body depends on for restoration, and most people never connect the dots. The next part is even more important, because once you understand what is actually damaging your sleep, the solutions begin to look completely different. Most people try to solve sleep problems by sleeping more, but if your brain is constantly being pulled out of deep sleep without your awareness, sleeping longer changes nothing. You are not adding more rest, you are simply adding more time inside the same broken cycle. The goal is not more sleep. The goal is protecting the window where deep, restorative sleep actually happens. So where do you start? The first thing you need to determine is whether your body is getting enough total sleep in the first place. This matters because sleep deprivation and unrefreshing sleep can feel almost identical from the inside. Your brain cannot easily tell the difference. Dr. Schutz offers a simple test for this. On your next day off, do not set an alarm. Allow your body to wake naturally. If you end up sleeping much later than usual, your brain is probably not malfunctioning. It has simply been deprived of sleep and finally had the opportunity to catch up. You cannot properly address unrefreshing sleep until you rule out ordinary sleep debt first. But here is something that genuinely shocks many people. Some medications can alter sleep architecture and affect how refreshed you feel. Certain medications and sleep aids can alter normal sleep architecture, changing how much time your brain spends in different sleep stages. Antihistamines, some prescription medications, and other sleep aids may leave some people feeling less refreshed even when they appear to be sleeping through the night. If you regularly use medications or supplements for sleep, it may be worth discussing their effects with a healthcare professional. You are technically sleeping, but your brain is missing out on the repair process it desperately needs. Cannabis can be particularly complicated. Some people find it helps them fall asleep more quickly, but research suggests that regular use may alter normal sleep architecture and affect the balance of sleep stages. While it may improve sleep for some individuals, it does not necessarily guarantee more restorative sleep. The irony is painful. The very thing you are using to sleep better may actually be the reason you continue waking up exhausted. This is also where so-called sleep hygiene advice finally begins to make sense, because it was never really about comfort. It was always about protecting deep sleep. Deep sleep is influenced by both circadian timing and the buildup of sleep pressure throughout the day. Your circadian rhythm is not just a fancy term for your sleep schedule. It is a highly regulated hormonal process. At a certain point in the evening, your brain begins releasing the chemicals that prepare your body for deep sleep. When your sleep and wake times shift too much from night to night, that entire sequence becomes disrupted. Your brain misses the window it was designed to follow. Instead of moving smoothly through the normal progression of sleep stages, your sleep can become less efficient and less restorative, leaving you feeling less refreshed the next day. Caffeine interferes with this process in a different way. Most people think caffeine simply keeps them awake. What it actually does is block adenosine, the molecule your brain builds throughout the day to create what scientists call sleep pressure. That pressure is what pushes your brain into deep sleep. For many people, late-day caffeine can interfere with sleep pressure and reduce sleep quality. By delaying the buildup of sleep pressure, caffeine can make it more difficult for your brain to transition naturally through the sleep stages needed for restorative sleep. The same principle applies to your phone, your room temperature, and the light in your environment. None of these things are really about relaxation. They are about whether your nervous system is calm enough to allow deep sleep to happen. Chronic stress and heightened nervous system activation can make it harder for the brain to maintain healthy sleep patterns, reducing overall sleep quality and potentially limiting restorative sleep. Instead, it keeps you suspended between sleep and wakefulness, cycling endlessly through lighter stages while your brain never gets the opportunity to complete the restorative work it was designed to do. And if none of these changes solve the problem, if you have improved your habits, ruled out sleep debt, reviewed your medications, and still wake up feeling like the night was stolen from you, then it is time to look deeper. Because for some people, the disruption is not behavioral at all, it is physiological. Conditions such as sleep apnea, fibromyalgia, and long COVID are all associated with disrupted or non-restorative sleep. Although the mechanisms differ, each can interfere with the body's ability to achieve truly refreshing rest. Here's the truth that changes everything. You have spent your entire life being told that sleep is passive, that you simply lie down, close your eyes, and let your body handle the rest. But sleep is not passive at all. It is one of the most active and complex biological processes your body performs. Every night, your brain and body carry out a wide range of essential processes. Research suggests sleep supports waste clearance in the brain, memory consolidation, immune function, tissue repair, emotional regulation, and many other functions that are critical for long-term health. That process has requirements. It depends on specific conditions. When those conditions are not met, whether because of hidden awakenings, hormonal disruption, chemical interference, or an undetected medical condition, the process never fully completes. And when it does not complete, you do not wake up restored. You wake up exactly the way you went to bed, tired. So stop asking how you can sleep more. Start asking whether your brain is truly being allowed to finish what it starts every night. Because the difference between 8 hours of sleep and 8 hours of feeling restored often comes down to whether your brain was able to cycle normally through all the stages of sleep without significant disruption.